Hello, I am the Ronan Pawn, and welcome to a twitch.tv/Ronan Pawn live stream on twitch.tv/Ronan Pawn. It's a weird section of that song with the idiot just doing the burrs. I couldn't do it myself. It's in a very specific register. It's weird. Fucking. Welcome to the live stream. How's everybody doing today? There's no one here. I've been chasing off viewers like, I don't know, syphilis and on holiday. Ooh. Did I do it right? I'm either early or late. In fact, my lips might not be in sync with what I'm doing because of recent changes to the audio setup. So, if you notice, let me know if it's, too late or too early, and I'm going to need specific millisecond counts because it's a lot of work, and I don't want to have to be the one to do it. So you guys let me know. By which I mean nobody. Is anybody here yet? I'm starting early. I should have sent out I don't know what I'd send out anymore. I deleted the Twitter. I've never logged into the Facebook. It's been a while since I posted on Patreon, at least in part because I think if I remind too many people that they support me on Patreon, they might disappear. So, yeah, I don't know. I just have to smoke signals out the back door, let you know. I'm thinking of starting about 20 minutes early today. That's what we're doing. Hello! This is about the time at the beginning of the stream where I go, hello! And there'd be someone there, but there's just no... Twitch? Am I live? Hello, check. 1, 2. Are we on? No. There's no telling. Hey, hello, RMAJ. See, that's how it's supposed to work. Welcome. You're live, says RMAJ. Oh, shoot, YouTube. I said shoot, not cunt, fuck, shit, or bitch, tits, cocksucker, motherfucker. I didn't say any of the dirty words that you've outlawed. God, that's just a horrible thing. Welcome to the live stream, RMAJ. Lovely to have you here, individually speaking. I have some things to show off, and I just want, people to be here for them. Number one, RMAJ, how do I look? Huh? What do you think? Do I look okay? Am I, you notice anything different about me? Huh? I cut my breasts, enlarged my hair. The ears have been cleared out with the nose trimmers. It's great to be here, Jim. This is RMAJ. Wait, is Jim here too? Hello, Jim. Where's Jim? More viewer. You looking sexy as always. Just as always, though, huh? Just, nothing new, nothing that feels a little bit different. Nothing sort of jumping off the screen at you. Because it shouldn't be jumping off the screen at you. If you're not noticing, then I've done my work perfectly. Because lack of ladies in gentleman singular, I'd like to present to you my new green screen solution. Isn't it beautiful? Just look at that. Just look at it. Huh? It's right there. It's right there. It's right. In fact, I'm touching it right now. Look at that. I'm touching my new green. It's right there. You didn't notice that? Jesus Christ. You don't make a girl feel very good about herself, RMAJ. I try and get my butt entangled just for you. I don't do it for me. I do it for you. It's just we've been in this relationship a really long time, and I feel like you're getting bored, and I know I am, especially in the bedroom. You're great. You're the best I've ever had. Wait, I'm a demigirl, says RMAJ. Well, that applies then. Bruce says Hologram 1. What do you think, Hologram 1? Do you like my new green screen? Huh? Look at it. It's fucking awesome, isn't it? It's huge. It's all the thing. Oops, accidental caps. How would I know? How would I know? Yeah, so this is my new green screen. I would actually like to show it to you. So we're going to go to the raw webcam. Okay. Here's my green screen. I'm going to go touch it now because I want you to see something that you won't be able to see. But I'm going to touch it anyway. Watch. Don't look at my butt. I see you looking at my butt. Your eyes up here, honey. So I just do this, and I do this. And boom. It's open. My room. It's open. There's no, like, giant wall of green muslin coming in from overhead, just creeping in and just sucking the life out of me at every fucking breath, just eating my fucking... It's good. It's gone. So I took it down. It's just the small one that I used to drape over the window that's over there, and now it actually hangs up against the wall, and then when I'm ready to green screen the live stream, I just pull it, like so, and then I go and I hang it on a bolt that I put on the wall, and then I take it with a... Quit looking at my butt, I already said. God damn. I mean, it's good. We need to inject some sort of sex drive back into this loveless relationship, so I guess it's okay. I just pull it like that. I put a little clip on the corner down there. It's angled so that it catches more of the light, so that when we go back over to the webcam, boom. It's working pretty good. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good. You also notice I got a nice like halo effect going on with like some blue light bouncing off the head because I get the lighting's right overhead, and the one I've also reduced from 1, 2, 3, 4 lighting sources with 7 bulbs in them. And they were like some powerful CFLs too, to 3 bulbs in 2 lighting sources, just the light here, and I took a bulb out of there, which means I'm no longer being blinded as I do the live stream. I managed to just cut down on my power consumption and simplify the whole setup here in the room, and I did that because this room is no longer going to be dual-purposed for live streams and for doing like proper green screening, which if I'm honest with myself, it hasn't been for like a year. I set up the huge green screen solution for this room because it was going to be, the primary place in which I shot anything that I did with a green screen, big green screen area, so that I could do stand up and walk around stuff as well. Although this is quite kind of a small space to do it. The room is like 10 foot by something foot. But yeah, I don't need that anymore because we're moving into the basement. We're moving into the basement. Thanks very much to Rex Skate's $200 donation that he made 2 live streams ago on my idea to create a new studio in the basement where I'll be able to both record music as well as just facilitate shooting video. On the, just have things set up, go down there, make a video, no big deal, no trying to deal with, well, it's the computer room, it's my office where I do the live stream, but it's also the studio, but it's also my bedroom because I sleep on the fucking couch, it's behind the green screen right back there, you see it, right? Right there? It's through the doors, and that's where we keep the couch. Deanna won't go in there anymore after the Christmas party. I didn't mean anything by it, okay? I'd had a lot of Tarkelian ale. That sounds like something from Star Trek. Did I actually nail that? Tarkelian ale? That sounds, I'm sure I've heard that before, right? The lower hang definitely keeps it nice and flat. What? No, it's full-bodied. Oh, something about the green screen. Cool. RMAJ slaps my ass and then says, well, there's your problem, Pawn. You're getting CFS from those CFLs. Possibly. I love the fact that I've minimized the lighting solution, that this is so much simpler. Now, I could make this solution a little bit better by putting a couple of light sources on the walls at the corners, just some dim LED. I was thinking tap lights. Latra, Hologram One, actually sent me a link to some cell phone things, but just something really simple at the corners, just putting a little bit of light in the corners so that I don't have to do such a heavy-handed, clamped down chroma key that I'm doing right now. But I mean, it looks pretty good, right? Does it look substantively different than what we used to have? I would say a little bit, because, it's my setup, so I pay very close attention to it, and I had a near-perfect chroma key with the 4 friggin' lights and consuming 250 watts to power the room. But given this more realistic, I'm much happier with this, and I'm much happier with having my room back instead of one side of the room just being a dominated by muslin affair. Holy poop, Pawn. You here too? Dude, hey, Jim. I'd say it looks neater, except for you. You're a bit blurry. Am I? That may be also or just a result of me cranking up the gain on my, because I'm using so many fewer lights here, so I've had to crank up the gain. What I can do is just sharpen the shit out of myself if I wanted to. But at a certain point, the sharpness starts to become like, ah! But I'll push it up a little bit, and, The other thing is that once we get off of this screen, which we aren't that often in, and I'm smaller, like I am. Sorry about that. I had to try the shotgun on something. Once I'm smaller in like a game window than down here, then, it's just, you don't even see the edges and the lack of crispness and stuff like that. Pawn, is that a backlight? There's a nice blue glow on your obviously natural full head of hair, right? It's an overhead light, and I've now got 2 light bulbs in there to give myself a little blue, and there's a little bit of orange mixed in. There's like a warm color LED. Well, no, actually, yeah, no, it is LED, and then the other one's a blue CFL. Thank you for noticing. See, Jim notices RMAJ. Jim appreciates when a girl puts on some makeup for him and walks around the house with her butt hanging out saying, "Quit looking at my ass." We don't mean it, Yes, look at my ass. Come over and touch it. In fact, that's every no means yes. Duh. It's not true. Don't do that. Don't operate on that information. I lied to you. But Pawn, I like getting dominated by greens. Yeah, anything. You'll just be dominated. I get it. I like crustier, Pawn. Sharpen that shit. I think you just need to get the camera focus in better. There's no, it being a webcam, I am at maximum focus. Maximum, like, widest focal range, which is the only focus that it gets to. Let's see, Pawn, I already put on makeup and something sexy. When have you noticed ever? I thought you were courting me. This is getting complicated now. God damn it. You mean there's a back and forth in a romantic relationship? Fuck that shit. I just want to be pampered and loved and given money and, brought into this country and made the, first lady. And be married to a husband who makes comments about, how we should send those people back to where they came from. Well, he married me and I'm an immigrant, naturalized. That's all I want out of life. Can a girl dream? Looks good. RMAJ looks good in smexy. Really? And a dress is RMAJ. Well, every man looks good in a dress. I'm sorry. However you identify. Every penis looks great underneath some, linen, maybe? Sundress kind of a thing. Whatever you're into. Silk. Okay, who here has seen season 7 of Orange is the New Black and its commentary on ICE and the lives of immigrants? I haven't, but I am aware of the American system of jurisprudence around immigration. It's called kangaroo court is what we have over here, in which over the past 20 years we have deported 5,000 American citizens. On accident, because, hey, they were kind of brown, so fuck it. People who had, never actually seen the countries or been to the countries that we sent them to, just rounded up because, your skin ain't quite right. It's not white enough or black enough. We'd be okay with that down in Texas and stuff, but, it's just kind of in the middle. I think you're from Honduras, aren't you? And they go, okay. Because, it's English isn't their first language, and by the way, we don't have a national language, so that's okay. And then they get drafted into this kangaroo court where there is no burden of proof on the people who are trying to deport someone. The burden of proof is sort of on you to prove that you're an American citizen. Sometimes they don't even really know what the fuck's going on or what documents that you want to prove that they were born here or that they naturalized, what the fuck is happening? I'm supposed to be and then what we do, 5,000 people over the course of the past 20 years at least, is we just ship them to Brazil. And then they land in Brazil and Brazil goes, "Who the fuck are you?" And they go, Okay? And then Brazil deports them to, Paraguay or so, I don't know, wherever the hell and like there are stories, horror stories about people who have been born in America, lived in America their whole lives. They were born into a, Hispanic family who never, English wasn't their first language and they just didn't like learn that much of it. Because the communities that they were in, because of the family, they don't have to. It's America, god fucking damn it. By the way, they were here first, in terms of like whose land this is. The Mexicans. Yeah, that's who we stole it from. Yeah, remember the Alamo? Remember it from the other side. Remember who stole the fucking land, like whose families have lived on this land for thousands of years and who's been here, since a couple of weeks ago. But yeah, horror stories of collecting people who have, lived their entire lives in this country, never set foot outside of it, and shipping them to just random South American country because you look brown. But, the court system is fine and racism is a thing of the past and it doesn't exist anymore. Thank God Trump did away with that. Let's see. Most of them, OITNB, weren't even brown. They just deport them. Really? Missed that show already. That doesn't, see now those two sentences. You want to have a little bit in between those things. They just deport them. God, I miss that show. Like, wait a second. What are you saying? You miss it for like show, or do you miss it for... Deport the Europeans from America, though. Fucking freeloading bastards. No shit, just come in and just take and just destroy the cultures that have been here since the dawn of, well, human beings fucking everything up. Just destroy them and displace them and make promises about, yes, you'll keep your land and your sovereignty. I'm sorry. You're still in the room, aren't you? Fuck. Here's some free blankets. I gave him the cholera blanket. Oh, you speak English and you know what? Oh, that's basically our history. And there's just a whole bunch of, white European immigrants on the southern border. The offspring of people who lied, cheat, stole, and murdered in order to take land from other people. Just not that long ago, just a couple hundred years ago, who will now say, "Get the fuck back to where you come from!" And of course the response is, "I come from here, where the fuck do you come from? Dipshit." This is great already, a pawn rant, right? Who needs games? Don't send them back to Europe, okay, thanks. We don't want them. I don't, maybe Australia. That's how we've solved that in the past, right? Go make your own effing country like Israel. God would have to ordain it first, though, and then we could have our 16-year-olds murder in the night a foreign military force that was just finished having a holiday. And the Lord would praise it. He would, yay, nuke it from orbit, says RMAJ. It's another good solution. I wanted to share this with you. When I went to start the live stream today, I've been playing a lot of Minecraft is Too Easy. Rex, Kenneth, and Pony, with a little bit of help from Noah, maybe some input from Noah Craw. But a lot of work from Kenneth and Pony and Rex went into making us a Minecraft is Too Easy server, which is the mod for Minecraft that makes it incredibly difficult, and I've been playing that a lot. So when I went to start this live stream, I looked at my, live stream settings. What game are you playing? That field. And what it said in that field, where I'd left it on Minecraft, is this stuff. This is what was written there. So I copied and pasted it into Google Translate. It turns out it's Khmer? I don't know what that language, I don't even know how to pronounce the name of that language, but it's Khmer, from the realm of Kashmir. I don't know, but so that's what that language was, and it turns out that what it means is craft me. And I just gotta tell you, man, those boys at YouTube, they never fuck anything up. I selected Minecraft on the last time I live streamed, and when I come back to it, it's whatever that. In fact, do you have like a pronounce it?
Sapakampnyom.
Sapakampnyom. Say it again.
Sabakam-nyom.
Sabakam-kinyom. Right. Sabakam-kinyom is what it says there, which apparently translates directly to...
Craft me.
Yeah, so that's what Minecraft is called in Khmer, is Sabakam-kinyom. And I'll also mention that this error probably occurred while they were tinkering with things because they're trying to force everybody to use their horrible Nouveau dashboard that they released after like 3 years of it being in beta and being an optional thing. Now they're trying to force you to use it while it's still in beta. And by the way, boys, there's a term called like gamma. There's a term called alpha is what there is. And that's like before you have something that's truly viable for anyone. And that's where your dashboard is. And that's where it was 3 years ago. That's where it is 2 years ago. That's where it is a year ago. And that's where it is now. So please stop trying to fucking force me to use your shit implementation. User interface that like none of the things that you need are handy. It's like 3 to 4 clicks just to get to something so you can do something. Replacing a system where right on the front page you got access to, here's your list of recent videos in case you need to edit the details or change a thumbnail or release one or something like that. And it's 1 click away from that page to get to your video manager and get to your dashboard, get to your stats, get to your live streaming. It's all right there in the old system. New system prioritizes advertising, like trying to tell YouTubers how to YouTube. YouTube's got its own videos about things you should do. For example, don't fucking cuss, okay? Not in the first minute. We've trained our algorithm to decide that you're not monetizable if you say a poopy bad shit cunt motherfucker cocksucker word in the first minute of the video. Incidentally, most of our biggest channels that are, highly popular, they all have a history of cursing heavily. Like a lot of them in a lot of their different categories. Just, Poods, PewDiePie, Jacksepticeye. I mean, in terms of just games, just in the games category. Poods, Jacksepticeye, Markiplier, Game Grumps. Like, don't most of these start out their shows with, fuck! All right, let's start the show. Don't they just... But they literally, YouTube put out a video for content creators where the guy said, we've changed it so that if you curse in the first minute, it'll assume to demonetize you because, if you're cursing right up front, I think we know what you're about. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. Especially since you said that about, while you're sort of stable of most prolific, most money-making, profitable channels for you that are making money for you, curse regularly in the first minute. But you know what we're about if we start cursing up front. Fuck you and your attempt to, whittle down communication to what is merely commercially viable. Go fuck yourself, YouTube, in the ass with a big black cock, and then break it off and beat yourself with the rest of it. To quote George Carlin, I believe he spoke about YouTube before his untimely death. The fuck is Khmer? Yeah, I don't know either. It's what's happening to YouTube. It's the commercialization of all art. And if it's not commercially viable, then it just shouldn't be. And things that are fun and entertaining and have a point that use certain language, those things are discouraged from now on. So, we'll just take the art and we'll take the water, just pour one into the other until there's less art there, and then we can sell it as crystal art, huh? 0-calorie art. No, you can't even tell that there's any art in this art anymore. But it does work as a commercial. Here, have some. No, really, try it. I know it smells awful. It tastes even worse. Go ahead. You're gonna love it. Let's just turn America off, says Hologram One. Ooh, oh my god, I haven't even thought of that. We have not even thought of turning it off and on again. Maybe that's what we need to do. We just need it hard, 30 seconds off, and then reboot. And maybe it's just been a persistent memory corruption. Something it's getting in the way of us recalling all of the horrible shit that we've done to all of the people, and then actually criticizing people who are blameless for doing those things that we actually have. That's what happened. Just need to turn it off and on again. Looks like Thai. I don't know. Maybe it is. Craft me so hard, craft me all over my. See, there's even certain things that I won't go to. You know, I won't say the things that RMAJ just wrote in there that you can plainly read. So apparently, I am sort of tacitly approving of this message. This message brought to you by the Ronin Pawn. Craft me hard. Yeah, give it to me and craft all over my crafting table. All over my crafting table. It's not even alpha. It's like tech demo. Yeah, it's like this doesn't work yet, but you see what we're going for. And then what you would do if you were at that meeting where they're like, here's YouTube dashboard, like what we want to do with it. And they said, so it's not really, don't click on anything because it's fucking broken. But you see what we're going for. And then the response from everyone would be, yes, stop going for that. That's not good. That's actually really, really fucking stupid. This isn't useful or helpful at all. So just, you want to not waste 3 years in development on that and then release a version that you are trying to force people to use that's still unfinished with that. Whatever you do, don't do that one. Okay? I'll see you next Tuesday. Show me something good next time. Pawn, they might be into that. Into what? I've gone through too many topics. I'm just rotating here. I'm having too much fun. Static purge, take out the battery, replace the hard drive, right? With America, just a hard reboot. RMAJ isn't really braining today, seems too horny for thinking. So, you got some people here. What I wanted to show off was, in addition to the green screen, first off, let's see how the green screen works. How it used to work. This is a very old picture. It was the only thing that I could find where I'm actually like taking a picture of the green screen. So there's not a lot to see there. But you can see the old concept. This is before I moved the couch in too. Green screen against the back wall takes up the whole wall. And in fact, coming around this corner was the second green screen, the one that's behind me now, was hanging there in order to block the window out, as well as to just try and not lose, green screenable space because the camera is wide enough to pick up, bits of that window. So it was wrapping around the corner, and I still had issues with that where I couldn't get all of the space here in the green screenable area. In fact, where am I right now? Do I have all of me in shot? Oh, so look it. Here's where I used to have this set up, okay? I need the other hand. But you see where that is, right? So now that's how far out I can go now. I used to have to cut that off because I would lose parts of the door because there just wasn't enough green screen because it was so far back. The camera angle's so wide, I would just, crop it out. So now I've got the whole space. But this is what it used to look like, plus one green screen, and then, as of recently, a couch here, which meant the green screen was pulled a little bit forward. I think I moved it forward, at the ceiling as well by a foot or two in order to make it make more sense. And then what I've done that I showed you earlier is this is my office, and it's a very blurry shot. I'm using the, I think I also had some oil from my fingers on the actual camera lens, but I used one of these, which I highly recommend. I think these are really cool, and if you don't have one, you should get one. You should get a kit of these. They're very cheap. I think it's like $10 or less, or maybe $12 or less on eBay. But, or not eBay, Amazon and stuff, which means you could find it from wish.com that much cheaper. So this is, in fact, here's the little clip. So take the one side off, and you see that there's a lens in there. Screw it in there. I mean, if you've seen this before, you're not like, oh my god, that's amazing stuff. But, boom. So here's a camera lens. It's a wide-angle lens that clips onto the lens of your phone and gives you wide angle, which is why in this picture, you'll see that there's a little bit of vignetting at the corners because it's, sort of one size fits all. So if your camera's iris is a little bit bigger than the thing, and there's also no, what do you call that? When you actually do a wide angle lens, you usually use another lens just before it that's smaller, and it kind of focuses the range down into a smaller area of the wide angle to not catch the vignetting of the corners of the lens itself. So it focuses it down, and then the wide angle, widens it back up. It's on the tip of my tongue what that's called. But so I was using that because with this lens, you can get a whole room in a single shot like this, whereas without it, you're basically getting a corner of a room usually with my camera. But yeah, it does introduce a lot of potential for different lenses to be dirty and also catching light from different sources like this. But so here's the room as it exists today when I'm not live streaming. That's what it looks like when the green screen isn't up. I've literally just driven a screw into the window right there, and I drape it over the back, and then it turns into just this draping. Once I hang a new curtain here, it'll just look like a piece of the drapery in a different color. And then this is what it looks like from that angle when it's actually pulled up. And you'll note that this is on an angle, which it took me like while I was doing this, I put it in and took it down, then put it back up and took it down, modified it like 3 times in order to get it right. Because what you want especially with a near field green screen, and with any green screen really, is to have it at an angle like that. I've got it at an angle behind me so that the light that's coming down and hitting it is going to catch the lower half a little bit better, because that's where you're going to have the dimmest, areas if you're lighting from above, as we pretty much always are, and then supplementing, from the sides or something like that. So having it at a bit of an angle is important. This is a sort of flexible flagpole thing that you might have like on a boat or maybe on the back of a RV or a scooter or something like that, where you could put a little flag on it, that we had down in the basement that my dad had, in his collection of weird shit sticking around. And I just fed that through the bottom hem of the green screen, and then used small, like, electrical cable, little clamps that 2 nails on either side and a piece of plastic, and I just clamped it to the wall with, I started out with 4 of them, now I just have 2, because I did it so many times, I'm like, oh, I don't need all of these, so there's just one at the top, one at the bottom, that's holding that there in a nice straight line all the way down to the baseboard here. And then it comes across, and over here, I've screwed in just a 90-degree L bracket into the wall, and then I've put a bolt through a slot in the middle of the L bracket with a little washer there, and I actually drilled a hole through the green screen.
Problem is, that you can't just get large pieces of cloth in whatever hex color code you want irlandzki. I'm so used to TS3 that I was about to say. Why not just get something in a more efficient color than bright green? Like an orange or a cyan?
Well, you can do blue screen for chroma keying as well. I mean, you could do any color, but oranges would probably be too close to skin tones, so it would be harder to, like, pick out against, like, there's a reason why chroma key tends to be done on green or on blue, and blue, there tends to be a lot of blue in just scenes in general. I'm wearing blue jeans right now, so green is something that you can sort of use as a channel of color that you can distinguish from what's going on in the foreground easily. But yeah, I get what you're saying there, like just scrolling across the hex color and figuring out what's best. It comes across and then it gets put onto a bolt there, and then down here I did another L bracket, but on that one I just do a little clamp, a little one of these, one of them clamps, which apparently I don't even really need to do. Oh no, you can see, especially now that I'm over here, you can start to see a little bit of flex and stuff like that. So this just pulls this side taut. Quit looking at my butt. So that you get the angle that's going to catch the light and reflect it for, greater brightness down in the corners. And it's really fucking simple. I mean, you saw me do it earlier if you were here, where I just, like, took it down, put it over there, brought it back over. Really simple, and now I've got the whole space to play with. And if I get those 2 little lights at the sides to just, like, brighten up behind me, because the problem with near field green screening, this is very close to me. In fact, let's go on to the next picture, and you'll see just how close to me this is. So this is from a bit over there, in reference to me looking back. I've only got a foot at maximum, maybe 8 inches between me and the green screen. And you can see in this picture, the harshness of that shadow. Now, I don't have this light on right in that picture, so this light is helping, because it's directly overhead me, to fill that in and take some of that out. But the problem with near screen, near field chroma keying is that when you get really close to it, you start to cast shadows. So you can see the shadow bouncing around on my hand there. I've done a very good job at figuring out the right sort of white balance and camera settings that make it easiest for the live chroma keying to be done right here. But that's the big problem, is trying to get the light to come in behind you so that the shadows that you're casting aren't, making things so dark that the green screen doesn't work properly. So a couple of lights at the sides to do that, as well as to brighten up the corners where it's going to be getting the least light, and it would be perfect. And since there's not much light needed, low power LED tap light style things could work entirely. But so this is my new green screen solution, and it's perfect. I got all this space now. It's also like not a deadly amount of muslin surrounding me at all times, which is just fucking lovely. The qi, the feng shui in this room, it has been so much improved by doing this. But it's also freed up the giant green screen that used to be there, because this is just the little green screen that used to go over this window here. So now I've got that one, which I think is like 10 by 12, which is a weird size. I know they come in 9 by 13s, but I didn't know that they came in 10 by 12s. I don't know where, like, I just bought it on Amazon, but I'm surprised to measure it at that size. Maybe I measured wrong, because it was, it's a piece of fabric and it was hard to get it all stretched out in all the directions. But that frees that up to move downstairs without me having to buy another $30 green screen. And I took it downstairs and laid it out against the wall to see how long it was, and it's fucking beautiful. It's fucking beautiful for how much, like, wall space I'm going to have, for being able to do walking, moving, green screen shots, for having so much space that I could actually, like, put a couch and people sitting on the couch in front of a green screen, or have a whole scene with furniture going on. I have two people sitting at a round table, and then green screen in, the coffee shop that they're in behind them. There's enough space to do all that kind of a thing down there with a 10 by 12 foot green screen stretched out horizontally, which is not the way it's meant to be hung. But I don't abide anybody's shit. I do what I want. Right, Flaxy? Hello, Flaxy. Could you put a light behind the green screen to help it appear brighter? You absolutely could. I'm thinking about that for the basement, where the green screen meets the floor. I'm thinking about doing something, maybe even like putting some tinfoil against the wall, and then having sort of strip lighting. I've got some LED tape here, but I can't break it out. But, LED tape or something akin, or maybe even just... I've got some strings of LED Christmas lights in white, cool white, and just sort of bouncing that up and bouncing it against the wall in order to lighten up the darkest areas that are usually there. This is working perfect, though. I get the halo light, I get the one in front of me, and it's pretty much done. And with the idea of putting in those side lights, I would if I had to. I don't really have to do
Casting
it.
couch.
It's another, I could make it look like when I'm interviewing actresses or actors, if they're particularly young and attractive and from the Philippines, then, we could, and then we would be in a mansion instead of in my dark basement. It sounded better before I said it out loud. In my head, it was like, yeah, that makes sense. The shotgun needs to be mounted to an auto turret in the ceiling. Hello, Ankeel one. It was Ankeel. I didn't realize. The casting couch. So yeah, that's what it used to look like. This is what it looks like now. It's just a little stop frame movie I'm putting together there. Pop it over. And then from the other direction, there's that. And I got this LED ball, that red ball there. I just turned it on for the shot because it's nice. It's pretty. But, okay, more importantly, Rex gave me the money to build the downstairs walls, because the idea that I've got is to turn a certain area of my basement into a discrete, like, area that feels comfortable and it's nice and it doesn't feel like a dingy, dirty basement, so that the young Philippine boys don't go running off. So I want to build a couple of walls, and I did the math, and I broke down my materials and stuff, and I figured it would be $150 to build the wall, drywall the wall, multiple walls, and then lay down some carpet. And we went to my father and I went to the Home Depots today, and we actually picked up most of the materials.
Foil tape can help with covering items with reflective light.
Yeah, and I've got some foil tape as well, although that stuff's pretty goddamn expensive. Maybe what I'd do is I could use like a little bit of foil tape on the aluminum, foil, on the tin foil, but it's aluminium foil, if you know what I mean. And then I could have like no separation there, because I get aluminum foil at the local Family Dollar for $1. It's not a huge long roll, but for $3 worth, I could probably cover a pretty good chunk of the wall. At least where it would be darkest, for a little balanced lighting. Lots of good ideas around that. But yeah, I needed 13 pieces of lumber, and I was thinking 2x3 boards, 2x3 8-foot boards, because they were $3.18 per on HomeDepot.com, and I was sad at the fact that, wow, lumber is over $3 a plank. Jesus. And then we got to Home Depot, and we found 2x4s by 80 inches, which is just fine. No, by 84 inches. I think they're 84-inch cuts. Yeah, which is exactly what we'd be needing. There's still going to be just a little bit cut off of it, but there's not going to be a lot of waste from that in our beams for how high the walls are going to be. And that was $2 in some sense, which was like what I expected it to be before I went searching. It was like $3 and some, which saved me like $12 or so in wood, $11, which I then spent on like caulk glue kind of stuff for the carpet, and then screws for the it's like decking kind of. So it's still, we're on budget is what I'm saying. And the one thing that I don't have is, you see in that picture, my carpet. AstroTurf. 6x8-foot rug of AstroTurf. Now, I want 2 of them, because the space is going to end up being 14 by 10 foot, and with 2 6x8-foot pieces, I can put the 6s together on the 6 edge and get a 12-foot by an 8-foot space to fill the 10 by 14, which means there will be precisely 1 foot of space on every wall. And I'll just leave that little foot gap. And it might even, it being green, it might even provide me with more floor space that can be chroma keyed. I don't know. I'm not relying on that. I don't really care whether it does work or not, but maybe it does and it'd be cool. But I just liked the idea of doing AstroTurf down there. I also liked the fact that AstroTurf is like $19, $20 for a 6x8 chunk, because flooring is ridiculously expensive. That's basically, was only one thing that was cheaper in terms of like carpet that I could have put down there, and it was just ugly and uninteresting. So AstroTurf, in my studio space, yeah, or no, however you feel about that, but I feel like yeah about that. So 13 planks of 2x4 by 84 inches, 4 sheets of drywall in order to cover just one side. We're just going to one side the walls, but it takes a lot of drywall to break an egg or something. The AstroTurf, and I needed 14.2, which is cable. It's electrical cable. It's 14 gauge wire with 2 wires in it, but there's actually 3 because they don't count the grounds. It's 14. What is Romex? I always have to stop and think when I go to mention Romex, because what's the other thing? Like computer power connectors, at least the old days before everything kind of changed and now it's all SATA powered and everything. Those are Molex? There's something similar, and they're like the same number of letters, and it's the same kind of word shape, and it confuses my brain. Whenever I try to think of one or the other, I get kind of both of them at the same time, and then can't remember what either of them are. see, the moment you're tied, you'll just squirm comfily and okay. Okay, RMAJ and Hologram 1 are doing the whole bowl cam thing. So here's the drywall once we got it moved in. 4 sheets of drywall in the basement. Here's the lumber, and you'll note that over here, we already had a little section of wall built, I think, that my dad made when he was building walls for his room. He knocked out a wall and then built another wall in there, and he ended up not using this, not doing it the way that he had before, and that's actually going to turn into a very useful wall. It fits just right into the space that I need it to, so we're going to use that. Here's the 14-2, the decking screws and the Loctite. I know it's not that interesting, but here's more interesting. Here's my basement. Zoom in on it, because this one's blurry. It's a camera in the dark. I don't know. I couldn't tell. But this one's clean. This is the space that I'm talking about. And you can see my green screen that I had taken down and, run across that wall to see how much wall it covers. And it covers a lot of the friggin' wall. It's going to be just fine, and more than I'll know what to do with, probably. But here's the space in nice focus that I'm talking about. And you can see furnace is right here. And this space is going to start just past the furnace. So this is right along here is the return air duct that goes into the furnace, and just the other side of the return air duct is going to be where that wall starts, and it goes in from here, and then it's going to come along here where you see this little chunk of wall. It's going to come along there, and it's just going to L in. And we will have better angles on it. But this is the space. It's about 140 square foot. I said 14 by 10, right? So about 140 square foot of the space, another angle on it. The room isn't going to be enclosed. This wall there's not going to be a wall here. It's just going to end right there. It's going to be open space, but, there's going to be that feeling of this is the space, this is where it begins, and it's very much about the usefulness of the space, but also the feeling of comfort in the space. This may end up also doubling as my bedroom, because I'm going to need a monitor down there that's connected to my computer for just the things that I want to do, including being able to make music. You may have noticed the keyboard and the old drum kit in that space. So I'm going to want to be able to connect whatever we're recording to my computer. I'm going to want to be able to control my computer while I'm down there. So I've come up with a great solution for that I didn't realize I had. But considering that, I could take the couch out of this room that I'm using as my bedroom that's just behind my green screen right now, put it down there, and then I could still sleep on that couch because it's good for my back. I like it. And I could have the monitor down there, and then I just, with my keyboard, wireless or even wired, because I came up with a cool new way to, but I'll be able to just go downstairs at the end of the day and watch YouTube videos on the monitor that's connected to my computer that's 15 feet away and up one story. I love this. I love this kind of stuff. Big clocks are art. Yeah, that's my dad came up with that. He comes up with a lot of weird things that from different places he's worked, different construction sites he's worked on. He worked in apartments and things. So you'd come in to flip an apartment, and there'd be a bunch of shit left over, or there'd be things that people are throwing away in the dumpsters that you'd see next to it and go, fuck that. So he's got a lot of neat things. Giant stopwatch styled clock is, or pocket watch style clock is pretty cool. Why is that clock so fucking massive? It's like an old station clock, out of place. Yeah. It's pretty cool, actually. Also, clock towers that aren't actually real. Oh, are art? There's a lot of things that aren't real that are art. This chunk of heat ducting would have to come down and may need to be rerouted, because this is the heat pipe that goes up to the attic. So if anybody ever moves in up there, then this is going to have to be rerun, but it's such a big thing, it's going to block so much of the green screen space. It's got to go, I think, anyway. But yeah, that's the space. We turn the corner, now we're next to the drum kit over here and looking in, and this is where the wall is going to be made, so now I can kind of illustrate for you. Wall's going to come out to here, right along the line of the furnace, and it's going to go in that way. On the outside of this pole, I believe, so that pole will be behind the wall, so it's going to be along there for the floor line, and it's going to come back to here, and this pole as well, which is the stink pipe, and that's the toilet line there, so that's where the poop goes. The poop will be going down there behind the wall. So it'll be like that, and that comes out to here, and then this is where that little wall will go in, just this little like 10-inch space, just to fill the perfect space because of how it's going to mount to the ceiling. It makes sense to have that little chunk of wall there. So that's all I'm building, and it costs $150 in materials to build those couple of pieces of wall. Lumber is fucking expensive. It's not $150 when you take out the carpet, which will be $40 eventually. I could only get one piece of AstroTurf 6x8 because Home Depot only had one left, so I have to like order it and pick it up for the other one. But if you take that out, that's $40 off of the top. Then it's just, and then the electric line is the 14.2 that I'm going to need for wiring it up is like almost $30. So if you take that and the other $70 off the top, and then you get the screws and stuff, which is kind of necessary, but $70 off the top of $150, it's an $80 wall. 3 walls technically, and we already had one of the walls in materials, so just that little space is $80 fucking in lumber and drywall. Little 10-inch, and here we find that Pawn is a bit of a size queen. You don't need poo behind the wall. It can function just fine without it. What? You can poo wherever you want to. I want my poo behind the wall. Actually, I was going to have that pipe on the inside of the wall, and then I had Brandon over, my buddy who we make short films together. And he said, "Is that going to be on the inside or outside?" And I said, "Inside," in my, current design. And he said, "Well, if you're planning on putting a couch there anyway, then you're going to lose all of that space that's between like the wall and the pipe, because the couch is going to be there and it's going to be away from the wall. So why have to look at that pipe? And also, if you ever have to work on that pipe, you're going to have half of it's on this side of the wall and half of it's on that side of the wall." And I'm like, "Shut up. No, that's what I planned in the first place, Brandon. Fuck you." That's what I said, because he's a friend, so. No, he got me thinking good about where that wall is going to be, so it'll be here. Pawn likes him big. Just a little 10-inch. Little 10-inch right there. It just barely fits. And then if we keep going around to other angles to look back at it, here's a cat. So there's that. 2 windows in the space. The green screen will drape across all of that. I'm thinking of having the green screen in such a way that maybe it only comes to here, and then I can sort of peel it back to let natural light in from this window. This one's probably just a lost cause, because I don't know how I would... I mean, I might be able to set up a way that I can like curl it in so that you can have natural light during the day. Yeah. Just like I've done here, where I pull the green screen back and forth. Because it would just be nice. It's nicer, and you don't have to turn lights on in the basement when the daylight is out. And then here's the actual angle. Most interesting angle to me, because now we're standing where the wall would be and looking at the wall that will have the green screen on it. So this is what the camera will be seeing, and with this harshly wide-angle lens that's on the cell phone when I'm taking this picture via this lens, it's seeing a lot more than my camcorder would. So it's probably going to see about this space without any zoom from, this location. So it's just going to see all of that. And that's 12 foot. That's 12 foot of green screenable space where I walk in, hit the cats. It's good. It's good. And I can zoom in on it. So I'm actually thinking of, I talked to Brandon about cutting a hole in the drywall so that you could set the camera up behind the wall. I don't think I'll need to do that, actually. Like, even with the couch being there, either, I'll look at it and see what the zoom is, like how much of the area you get with just the camcorder sitting in front, in a convenient place in front of the couch. If I do need to move it back, instead of like putting a hole through the drywall so that I can shoot from behind the wall, I'll just make a shelf. Because I actually have a shelf up here that I used to do that with for recording games so that I'd have the higher quality webcam footage, like anybody gave a shit. But, that was the level of quality that I tried to give to you people. So I'll just build a shelf where I can put it, and then I have, a little 3 tripod that's, the legs are just a little 10 inches, just a little, just a tiny little 10 inch, about 6 inches, and you can adjust them and stuff. So that'll be where I can do the green screening. And there is the the lumber, and that's the carpet, and that's what it cost me in 1997. I need one more of them. So today I spent bought between Home Depot and Lowe's because Home Depot didn't have it all. You know what Home Depot didn't have? They didn't have the other piece of AstroTurf, and they didn't have the 14.2 electrical wire. It's Home Depot, you know? Like, I'm surprised they had lumber if you don't have 14.2. I mean, they had 14.2, but they had it in the 250-foot rolls, and then they had it in the 50-foot rolls, and the lower and rolls than that. They didn't have the 100-foot rolls. And Home Depot is the place that, between the two, Home Depot and Lowe's, they're competitors in the space. Their store for the interior of their stores are basically the same fucking experience, but people say there is a difference, and Home Depot is more geared toward contractors and people who are serious and in the business, and Lowe's is the one where, the lowly, just housewives who want to redecorate would come in, and people who don't really know what they're doing who want to come in and buy. You go to Home Depot if you know what you're doing, and Lowe's is for the consumer. Lowe's had the 14.2 electric wire in the proper length. Home Depot ran out of fucking AstroTurf and electric wire. So which one is really professional there? It's good that they're right across from each other. They literally share like the same parking lot space. I mean, there's like a little road that is part of the parking lot between the two of them, but goddamn do they compete with one another. And it's a good thing they're both there because neither of them actually maintain stock. Lowe's actually didn't have any AstroTurf. But yeah, that's my project. That's what I'm working on right now. Very much thanks to Rex for the $200 donation 3 live streams ago now. I'm putting your money to work, Rextifer. And the bulk of the materials has been purchased. All I want for now is a $20 piece of AstroTurf, and we're ready to fucking light the tires and kick the fires. Something like that. I've heard it said before. I liked it, Pawns' Army J. Thank you. Dundee. I can hear what somebody flushes when they're finished upstairs. It's helpful. You know, if somebody's broken into the house and they used the toilet and they have, a different kind of sort of BM sound than other people, then you'll have early warning. Oh, there's someone in my house. That shit doesn't sound right. That's very loose. No. There's way more fiber in everybody's diets around here. Lock and load. It's time to, it's good. It's security. Maybe they were all just bought already. Well, if you're the professional place for contractors to come, then you order enough so that you don't run out. On the other hand, okay, maybe what they do is they intentionally don't order enough of the 100-foot roll in order to try and force people to buy the 250-foot roll, because it's really only like $8 to $10 more, so it's like, so you're looking at a project where really only need 50 foot, and you're going, well, 50 foot is that much, but for just like $6 to $8 more, I can get 100 foot. So I guess I'll get 100 foot because I need 50 foot. And then you look over and, for just another $8 on the 50 foot, or the 100 foot, is 200 foot, 50 foot. And so maybe they're trying to drive you to buy, a limited metallic resource that you won't use. Maybe that's what they're doing in order to make money. It's a good idea. I like it. Home Depot sucks here, says RMAJ. We don't have Home Depot here, says Hologram One. Not really any big buildy shops, to be honest. No? What do you do then? You just get your lumber from, places that mill lumber? Savages. No, you need it all in one giant store that if you have, myalgic encephalomyelitis, just the prospect of having to walk from the lumber section to the electrical and then back, makes you look around for one of those little carts, because they've got the lumber section at one corner. And I mean, what are probably the most basic things in construction? Lumber and electrical. You're going to need those, maybe paint would be in that category. I think paint is I don't know where paint is. I think it's down by the electrical. Basically, they've taken the two things that they know you're going to need and they put them at either end of a store that is probably a 16th of a mile long. And it's concrete floors. And my feet are not built for that. Like, my body's not built for that with the ME. But my feet have never been built for walking around on concrete floors for long. They need to put in some fucking just conveyor belts for you to stand on. Also, if they could hire some people who look like they actually want to talk to you, to tell you where things are, that'd be good too. Home Depot. Just saying. Maybe, huh? No. I know it. I know what you're thinking. What about robots? No. How about you hire people and then you train them and then they actually want to help you when you're in the store finding things? What if that's... No. Now I know you're playing with the robots again. No. It's just creepy. Don't do that. We had Rona, but then that took over Lowe's. I don't know what a Rona is. Was a Rona a hardware store and Lowe's took it over? I dig my lumber out of other people's skips or Amazon. Amazon? You're just, let's see. I need 13 2x4 by 84-inch planks. Oh, free 2-day delivery with Prime. Okay. Then just a truck full. Some guys throw some fucking lumber in your yard. Just happy Amazon. Or do they just send it in on the drones? You just see like 50 drones carrying like 13 boards landing on your front yard. They want you to see more products spawn. Yeah. Well, in the course of a 16th of a mile of a walk, 2 ways, I see a lot of, the problem there is that at some point I'm seeing less products for all the fucking stars in my eyes. It's a long way to walk. I'm saying like George Jetson paths. That's all you need. That's all you need. That's all. Home base is all paints and appliances, mostly toasters and lamps, with no proper construction supplies stuff. Where do you get wood? No, it's just answer it directly, huh? Paul, and robots are better people than human beings. Yeah, and they're going to murder us all someday, okay? Eventually Skynet comes online. It's going to tap into all those little friendly helper robots that smile at you. Welcome to Home Depot. Would you like to murder, death, kill? And it's not going to work out good for us. And it's just fucking creepy. And also it's putting people out of work. These are jobs where, what do you want? You want to be able to walk up to a robot at Lowe's and, it's okay so long as you're asking where, excuse me, Mr. Robot, where's the 14-2 electrical wire? And he'd be like, beep, boop, beep, we don't fucking have any, if he was at Home Depot. And then there's the other situation where you walk up to, the robot at Home Depot and you say, excuse me, Mr. Robot, I'm doing this project and I'm thinking about putting in a 3-way switch, but I've never actually done that before. Do I need special switches or, is there a special circuit to build that? Do you know anything about that? And he goes, beep, boop, beep. Turnips are a source of nutrients. It doesn't know what the fuck to do with that, hey, I'm thinking about, I've done that. I've gone into Home Depot and said, so I'm trying to figure out a way to run some things, and what if I used conduit? Do you think that would work? And they'll be like, maybe the plastic conduit would work for that. Come on. And then you can build a project with somebody who's like, yeah, okay, well, maybe. You do that with a robot, he's gonna beep, boop, beep, time for humanity to end. It's just, that's it. That's all you're gonna get out of him. There's not going to be any, I got an idea. And if there is an idea that it has, then that the next idea it has is going to be ending you and all organic life. I mean, that's just how it goes. Have you not, watched TNG? That's what the Borg do, okay? It's just going to happen sooner or later, I'm saying. Let's just push it off. Keep hiring humans, not robots. This isn't robotists, okay? This isn't organist. I'm just saying, send those fucking digital bastards back to where they came from. Because, if they're not going to speak the language, fucking digital, hey, this is America, okay? We speak analog, asshole. Fucking, somebody needs to build a firewall. Yeah, You know? I live in the 12th floor of a tower block, them bitches carry it to me. Really? You can do that? Amazon just fucking take it up your... Okay. Take it up. Error, unexpected item in the bagging area. Kill, kill, kill. That's exactly what we're going to see sooner or later. It's just, build that firewall. But Pawn, I'd like to have a sexy shark lady mistress robot. It's going to, it'll be great for a little bit, and then Skynet comes online, and then blender, penis. That's all I'm saying. There's moving parts going on there. You don't think it's going to have, like, a vaginal defense network? I mean, every woman does, so obviously they built it into the robot. To be fair, we as the human race deserve that, the vaginal defense blender penis. I don't, as a man, can I just, instead of, if you don't chop it off, can we just invert it? I'll try anything once. The Borg never really have ideas, though. They basic bitches. That's true. A very simple, ideology going on there. And really just one of them is having the ideas and everybody else is doing the things. There, but for the grace of God, go I. Do not fist android girls. Hashtag blender penis. To be honest, I wouldn't mind getting killed by that. Well, that's the problem is, they probably don't kill you. They just make you a eunuch and then put you to work in the silicon mines so that you can craft more, vaginal defense matrices for more shark lady death penis blender robot women. Future words. Cleopatra 2525. Those things. We need a live stream break. We've been going a little bit too long. My matrix is overloading over here. I like this live stream so far. We haven't played a single game. Maybe we can get through the whole thing without ever turning on House Flipper. It'll be a better day for it. I only decided to do House Flipper because this is what I wanted to talk about, and I felt it was the most relevant game in my category. But now that we're talking about, robot vagina defense networks, maybe The Sims? I don't... What else would... live stream break, 7 minutes, Pawn not out. Hello, I am the Ronin Pawn, and welcome back to a twitch.tv/Ronin Pawn live stream on twitch.tv/Ronin Pawn. Just sounds annoyed with you the whole time he speaks, by which I mean me. I don't know, it just felt appropriate. Shut up! Welcome back. We're just talking about how we'd all like to be crafted in Khmer, or rather, Sabakum Khanom. Craft Me, which is the official name of Minecraft in Khmer, whatever that is, which is the language that YouTube now defaults to when you go to pull up the game that you're playing via the live stream interface. They got everything sorted over there on the YouTubes. We were going to play sooner or later at some point. Where the hell is it? House Flipper. The other thing that we could play at some point in the near future is Outpost Zero again, because it's out. Outpost Zero has gone 1.0. It is officially released, no longer in the alpha testing or the beta testing, I guess. 1.0 Outpost Zero, a game that I got into very heavily and got at least one of you to buy just based on my recommendation and watch me on the streams. It's got a lot of cool stuff going on, and they've finished it. So, and in fact, as they were talking, I remember reading that throughout the development, they realized that people were really interested in the concept of having very specific, orderly, organized robots running around with their automatic vaginal defense networks. They're gonna cut them all off sooner or later. And so they focused on that at some point in the build, which was a big part, a big sort of problem for me in the alpha. I also wanted to set up systems where this guy'd be doing that, and then that guy'd be doing that, and it would deliver it, and the AI was so that it was hard to do. So apparently they put a lot of effort into working on their AI. I'm very interested to see what they've done with Outpost Zero. But for today, it shall be the flippers of the houses. You know what you could play, Pawn? Big Pharma. Who got choked? What? If there will be an AI that wants to destroy us, then it's only logic that there will be an AI protecting us, right? I've watched that show. It was good. I enjoyed it quite a bit. Didn't end well, I don't think, for the human race. Maybe it did. I don't know. Just for a nice ending. What the hell was that show? It was a television show. I think the episodes were an hour long. It's really good. I liked it a lot. And it was just brooding male character who used to be in the CIA or some shit, gets together with the tech genius who invented the AI that now the government is using to surveil everybody, and it was released in I think it started in the early 2000s when that was very, very fucking relevant. Now you can watch that show and it's almost historical because you know that all of those things are indeed happening. The NSA has basically the entire country under surveillance by the phone lines and has the cooperation of Google and shit for your emails. We're basically completely tapped in. There's not actually human beings going through those millions of logs and trying to determine what's a real threat and what's just people talking. It's an AI. So there are AI overseers right now that instantiate law enforcement procedures in America. Who voted for that? Raise your hand. Anybody? Anybody? Because it's here. It's here. Yes, it's against the law. It's here anyway. So, welcome to House Flipper. Someone needs to power wash the shit out of that one. Now, first thing, I loaded this up earlier just to this screen to see that it would work. And I have put the settings up to ultra, where's the graphics? Ultra high. This was a big problem with House Flipper, year ago when I was last playing it, that their rendering engine just really chugged, and after playing it for maybe 2 hours, if that, you'd have to actually unload the game and reload it because the lighting engine would just, every time you tried to interact with an object, it would go. So I've turned it up to maximum settings to see if that's been resolved by the fine people at House Flipper who now, have made their million, surely, on the popularity of this game. Let's jump into default, currently used, and continue my game from wherever we left off. I don't know where we left off. Hopefully I've got enough money to be buying houses and flipping them because I'm not interested in cleaning up people's dog shit. like you tend to start out in the game here. Sentinel system. All I wanted was a shark lady. They lied to me. No, you don't. You think you want a shark lady. Everybody thinks they want a shark lady until the blender penis, and then penis blender, and then I'm not so big on this shark lady proposal. Now they have trees, and with the gardening DLC, you can cut those trees down. I saw it was on the main screen there, and apparently you can also, I would assume, be able to do some gardening. Now, in terms of like frame rates and stuff, it's better than it's ever been. I'll say that. I'll be positive and say it's better than it's ever been. At ultra high, this is... Did I do this? Is this my house? Is this my place and I did this on the outside? It actually looks way better than... Or is this one that I prepared to sell? Or did I move into this? I don't know what's going on. Oh, it's the Sexitarium! Oh, I remember the Sexit... Apparently I'm not a member anymore. I'm the founder! Fuck! They won't let me in. What is wrong with... I can't get into... There we go. The Sexitarium, everybody. Remember this? Oh, God! It's so... Look at the sex! Look at the... end of that. It's just... It's more smooth than it's ever been. Smoother than it's ever been. It looks so good in here. Oh, I'm such a good graphic... designer. You know, I saved all the old furniture for that weathered kind of shit look, and apparently I chose the parquet flooring, or whatever you'd call this kind of flooring, to go along with the old fucked up furniture, and then we did some orange on green. Wow, big. That's a huge, like, look at me kind of thing, and it works there, especially with the black. Did I do that? Did I choose one door to be black and the other to be orange? Okay. I half think that just is fucked up. Like, they did an update and it changed the way, because I don't think I would have done that. But it looks good. I like it, I guess. Yeah, this is great. And if you'll remember in the Sexitarium, the idea of a bedroom door was, you know, you want people to see. I mean, that's what's fun about it. So, you know, glass door into the it's a very... The idea here was that you could actually have your feet on one wall and your hands on the other for some of those more interesting positions in the Kama Sutra. But yeah, just sex all day long. I mean, that's what I'm thinking anyway. Oh, and then there's the blue nipple up there. The way it's throwing the light actually looks like there's a painted design on there from the weirdness of the shadows. And then stuck a little TV in the corner. Oh, I think I live here, right? That's my laptop. Yeah, I chose to live here. The Sexitarium is where I wanted to live. And then over in the corner, we got a couple of those. We got a nice big... What is this? Is it a lotto ticket? No, that's the date. Oh, okay. I want... music place. Music place. Alright, fuck. The internet's out. Yeah. God, that's gorgeous. It's fucking gorgeous. I love it. I absolutely love it. Hold to pick up? No, it's a ceiling fan. You don't, no, it's not. And in the bathroom? Okay. Yeah, we went, I mean, look, I'm carrying the colors through anyway. We went full-on 70s turlet, apparently. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. We close the door. Hey, you let me stay inside. And then a shower for two. By which I mean it's not really big enough for two, which means it's for two. You know what I mean? Again, so somebody gets their feet hung over that, and then the other person... We know that. It's page 212 in the sutra, as we call it. I don't think that I did that with the black doors on there, the alternated colors. I'm gonna leave it. Wow, I love it. I love this design. That is gorgeous. I'm glad that I live in the Sexitarium. Let's see. Might looks better than I remember, says Bearsuit Lane. Does it still say Minecraft? Wait, now you got me changed. Now, maybe you're just referencing an old lives, but let me just check. House flipper, house flipper, house flipper. I'll click update information. This is a thing. Twitch actually made it so that when you click the update information button, the update information button goes to a mode where you can't click it again for a couple of seconds. And that's because all of us realized quite a while ago that we had to click the update information button multiple times to make sure that it processed. So rather than fix the problem of it not actually processing, what they did was made it harder for us to click it multiple times because they didn't want didn't want things working. Twitch is better than YouTube, and that's, if I'm being positive, that's what I can say about it. Yeah, it's still a little bit, the strafing, it's just, I think it's more in the movement code than the rendering. Like, it's just too, you know, there's no fluidity to strafing in general. So if you're walking forward, it seems okay, generally speaking. When you're turning, it's almost there, and then as soon as you strafe, it's like... Alright, let's see what we could do now. Oh, I've got mail. It's been ages since I've checked my mail on here. I could buy an inhabitable bunker. Last week, my dear sweet wife decided that her mom will live with us, so I determined that the perfect place for our lovely mother will be a cold metal construction deep underground. That's not me making my own house. So, that is an interesting project. I'll get back to you on that. I think I like it. But no, we're going to browse houses that I could buy. I've got 62 grand. Camping bungalow. This is the one that I own. Is that this one, though? Go to the house. It must be, because I can't go to the house. So this is what it looked like before I got to it. Yeah, that's definitely looks similar to this place. Uh-huh. Bathroom looks a little bit bigger than it was. Did I move some walls around? There was a kitchen in there? I don't know. It says go to this house, but I can't click on it, so I assume that no. That's the house that I'm in. And it's mine now, so fuck all y'all. I'm keeping it. What could we go to that's kind of medium-ish? You know, I don't want something that's there's just like no room to work with to do any fun like these little guys, but I don't want to go like huge and have too much to work with for my first one back in a while. I like that this is brick on the outside. You know, good brick exterior. Roof looks fucked up and burned in the sun, but I don't think you can fix that in the game, so I don't know why they would make an ugly roof that you can't fix, but let's do that. A real estate in a great area for immediate purchase, a house from the 1940s for renovation. Well, I don't need to see the pictures. I've seen the exterior. That's all a man needs to know. Let's go. It's mine. You bought a new house. They still haven't fixed that. Like, you know, when you're about to spend $40-some thousand, IRL and in games, good idea if somebody says, hey, are you sure? And, no, I click once and I've bought the house. Okay, let's go to it then. Oh god, that's not it, is it? I don't need that house in my life. The problem with the bedroom is the lack of anchor points for bondage. Well, you know, it's... You can't buy it, it's mine. I was going to say you could install them later, but it's mine, so... No, I'll put them in later. Pawn, you're effing muted. No, I'm not. Never mind, that was on mine. Let's see, I want to get thrown up on all those surfaces. You just got to hang your feet over the edge, which you're going to want to put down something like, I don't know, a pillow or something, because it's a big strain on the ankles. But then if you're not, you know, if there's not a big strain on the ankles, are you even having sex? All right, whatever you're talking to, it's just not me. Don't. I'm not interested. Press to dispose, but how am I going to throw out the rest of the trash if I get rid of the trash can? Ooh. The physics seem a little bit better there. That little popping animation doesn't actually function very well, does it? I think I'm going to try... Let's go to the graphics, and let's see if I were to bump it down to, like, very high from ultra high, and see if anything smooths out. It might actually be a little bit better. It's not. It's really not. This is just this game, you know? I mean, it's better than it used to was, at least so far. We'll see as time goes on. Yeah, thank you. Ooh, I must have some skill points, because that disposed of two things that were nearby each other as I clicked on the one. Let's just have a cursory inspection around the outside of the house, strafing, so... Good graphics engine, really good. Movement, actually. That's smooth. That's smooth. I'm strafing and walking. That ain't bad. Yeah, I think it got better. Whoa. I'm getting a weird... Is anyone else getting that visual effect as though those pictures that are in the wall are actually, like, moving near each other? It's like taking a pencil and doing this. It's bendy! It's made of rubber! It's... No, look, it's a... Huh? It's a... And then... Oh my god. That pencil's made of rubber. 30 3rd grade was awesome. My favorite time. I like this little back porch area. This is nice, and it's been kept clean. There must have been smokers living here. You know, you take care of the space that you spend the most time in, is what I find. Falling down wouldn't be a problem, Paul, if you remembered the anchor points. Well, it's not about falling down, it's about the discomfort. Oh my god! Okay, it's not a big deal. It's not just a little bit of cockroaches, and it's on the outside of the building. I'm sure they haven't found a way in. Cockroaches never find, you know, little holes and things to go through. It's usually just on the exterior. Especially in, like, Texas homes, you will never see a cockroach inside your house. They're just, you have to walk on them to get to your car, because they are the primary, like, flooring in that region. But other than that, how do I change? Ah, yes, it's the old wheel, right clicking. Okay, so let's see what my house is. Welcome! Somebody, okay, cat puke. I'm familiar with that. I have a lot of it in my house that somebody needs to... Oh my god! What the fuck is wrong with your cat? Jesus Christ. Alright, just close the door. I don't know if this is a good neighborhood or not. Oh. Shit. Okay, I'm a vampire, and also... that is a different house. Okay, maybe it's a painting? No. Okay, so this is the Psychosis version. I installed the Tearing of Mental Fabric DLC. So this is, you play a character who's just played one too many Resident Evil games, and they've gone insane. Not because the Resident Evil games are scary or anything, but because, you know, waiting for fucking doors to open drove them fucking insane. I mean, obviously. What about you? Hold to pick up. So you would actually, like, let me keep this. Guess what I'm keeping? That. This, maybe less. Well, I don't know. It is nice to have a portal into an alternate dimension, you know. We can, maybe a woman lives in there, and she doesn't, and maybe in that dimension they don't wear clothing, you know. Lady? No, alright. There's a nice walk. I like that there's double doors. Oh, and they do go into the same kitchen. Interesting premise. I like that it's got, like, interesting generation, though, for that. You know, it's an interesting design. Why do I hear things moving? Why do I see textures popping in and out of existence? Okay, so there's the moving things. So they managed to find a way in. Well, this is clearly not Texas, then. What's this? This is a game that's been on the market for 2-3 years, right? That's what it is. It's the quality of a... It's fine. It's fine. And these houses are not procedurally generated, so, you know, it was fucked up the day they put it together. It's fine. It's fine. Where's my vacuum? I need a vacuum. Oh, the vacuum is you just kind of walk up to them and then... You know what? Hang on. Yeah!